to be what it was as well. Sorry, that's the VFR map. The weather, I set it to be an, oh no, I set it to be an hour ahead. Okay, so we're good. We're going to 290. I think I may need to put the flight plan in again. I guess Rocky warned me. Although it should have most of our information in here. No, okay. This will only take a minute. VNLK VQPR. Okay, VNLK VQPR 24,290. It looked like there wasn't any left. I had it, and then it looked like it just decided to go from, you know, pitch up to pitch down for some reason right away. From Lukla, we're direct Tumley. Then from Tumley, we are G348. To Subsu. And then the Subsu one arrival. I'm gonna see what the what the RNAV Yankee approach looks like, just to see if it gets us a better angle. That's X-ray on the Subsu one arrival. No vias. If we go back up here, what does it look like? That looks good. We'll circle around unless I'll see what Yankee looks like. Okay, Yankee and X-ray appear to be the same thing, so that's fine. Okay. Everything looks ready to go. I want to make sure, was our weight and balance screwed? Oh, that's why. Our weight and balance wasn't right. I'm gonna set this to 0, just to make sure we actually do get off this time. Go full flaps. ESPN has something very important to tell me. And we are good to go. Let's try this again. I want to actually back up first. We're gonna use reverse thrust though, because I don't want to bring out a tug. Just to make sure we get full use of the runway. Ignore what's happening at the top of the screen. The buildings. And right there, we're gonna stop. And we are going to use as much of this short runway as we can. Short runway plus high altitude equals a problem. Everything looks good. Let's try this again. Alright, and we picked up our airspeed just in time. That was not pretty, but it worked. Oh, it's the wind. I'm getting blustered by the wind. Ah. Well, ladies and gents, we did it. We took off an A320 from Lukla. I kind of wanted to do this for fun. Just to see that we can do it. We're crossing 10,000 feet already, so the landing lights can come up. Autopilot is going on. Climb thrust. Gonna go flaps 2 now. I want to make sure that we clear this mountain while we're gaining our speed, so we're just gonna hold at 11,300 until we can get our flaps up, which is gonna happen right now. We're gonna aim for that valley as well. Get these speed brakes disarmed, and we will be on our way to Tumley here shortly. That was something. I'm not gonna lie, I broke a sweat on that. I try to bring you guys the best. I don't really like trying things out on stream. And I didn't. I'd actually done that like 3 or 4 times today, you know, practicing. But for whatever reason, it just didn't go our way that time, or at least the first time. Mount Everest is going to be right here in a minute. There you go. Mount Everest. Or that may be Everest behind it. One of these here is Everest. I think it's this one. But we're heading straight for that sun. We're heading almost due east. We're heading southeast, which makes sense this time of year. It is winter. And it is also choppy. Bevbo Mom chiming in. This is beautiful. Yes, it is. It's, I can get you guys outside. It's very choppy, as you would expect for mountain flying, but it is. It's gorgeous. I think that may be Everest. One of the really tall ones is Everest, right here. Just think, we're already at 15,000 feet, and those mountains are, you know, way soaring above us. So, let's look at our descent restrictions, just so we have an idea as to what's going on here. The airport at Paro, I believe, is at an altitude of like 4,000 to 5,000 feet as well. It's in a valley, but it's here. Rocky is sitting here. He's our passenger, and he's fast asleep. He's just enjoying the ride at this point. He's sleeping through the bumps. We can actually do some light adjustments as well. Get the ECAM brighter. We can turn off the INTEG lighting because we don't need it anymore. And that's that. We're climbing. We got 10,000 more feet to go. You guys can just see how massive these mountains are, because we're at cruising altitude, you know, for some flights. So, crossing 20,000 feet, we got 9 to go. In our About page of our Twitch, on the About section of our Twitch page, we have a new link. For anyone who's noticed, we have a link to our Discord server. I'm going to be inviting people on once you guys subscribe or follow. If you know, the next 2 followers will be enrolled in a 1-year subscription to our Discord server. I'll have you guys on the stream. You can come talk to me and talk to the stream. So I'll have you guys on and doing that. I'm looking forward to people getting on the Discord server. The link is there. Our donations tab is also on our About page. Donations are never required, but certainly appreciated. Anything and everything goes towards the channel and building a better sim. And I think that's about it. Make sure you sub on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. That's in our links as well. We're posting these videos, full flights, on our YouTube channel. So you want to make sure that you have access to that. But other than that, we're just continuing our climb, keeping my eye on the chat. It's kind of quiet tonight. I think Big Al must be busy, because usually when Big Al shows up, the chat takes off, no pun intended. Leaving the Himalayas, or at least the taller ones, behind. About 120 miles from the airport. We are taking the Arnav Yankee circling approach for runway 15 at Paro. That's the challenging. I mean, both ends of the runway are challenging because you guys will see the runway's in a valley, and there are steep mountains on either side of the valley, so you have to follow the river to the runway. It's kind of like Innsbruck, but a tighter turn. The weather at Paro is something that I should look up now, but last I checked, it was favoring the southbound arrival. Paro's last weather, the winds, 2 knots. Yeah, 2 knots they would go to the south. It's their default landing runway. We're about to hit cruising altitude. I told you guys it wouldn't take long. Get the weather and turbulence display on as well. Off this way is the Indian subcontinent, and then on the other side is like Tibet and China. So we're in a cool part of the world geographically. Got a nice tailwind pushing us as well. 40 knots. We need to be at 16,000 feet, let's call that, at 1:30. So in 16 and a half minutes, we need to be down 13,000 feet. So at, let's call it 20, we'll start descending at 1,400 feet per minute. We're going to start a later descent profile because of the mountains, just to make sure we are clear of everything. It's quite choppy up here. Got a 60 knot and increasing cross tailwind. So it's most definitely not a smooth ride. I wouldn't expect it to be either, with the amount of air that's being moved up by the mountains. Or at least it's being disrupted by the mountains. So when we cross the Bravo Golf Delta VOR, which I have no idea what that is, but when we cross it, we'll start our descent. Yeah, that should be about 5 minutes. I would love to get the seatbelt sign off, but I don't think that's going to happen. About a minute and a half away from Metom, which is our next waypoint on G348. We're going to turn left back. Paro is somewhere in here, in these mountains. And actually, now that it's bright enough, I will go to live time, because I set us an hour ahead of time to hopefully get some light. And now, and we'll get a second sunrise. You guys will get a second sunrise. It's a simism that I get, you know, I get to do these kind of things. What light is on? Oh. Make sure that the weather's updated too. It is. We have a 74 knot crossing tailwind, which is significant. 78, 76. It's gusting a little bit as well. Oh no, I thought we did. The wind is just pushing us around a lot. It's a very choppy kind of day. Or morning, I guess. Now we're direct to Bravo Golf Delta. Oh, hello Zach. Thank you for chiming in. LOL 77777. Nice emojis. Love to see it. About to hit that VOR, start our turn back towards the mountains. There we go. There's the turn. We're going to start our descent now to 16,000 feet. actually to flight level 157. Or, I guess, yeah, flight level 157, because we're outside of the U.S. Just looking at our flight plan here, we're going to go direct to radial 257, which means we need to descend faster. So let's set this down to like 10,000. From Subsu, we'll go direct to radial 257. And we need to enter the destination data. Performance approach. Transition altitude is still 5,000. The winds were 000 at 00 roughly, so we can put that in. We don't know the altimeter yet. Decision height, I believe, is 1,500. We don't know the temperature either, and I don't think we will know the temperature, which is okay. Now that we have we have an 80 knot crosswind. I don't know why it wants to send us that slowly. But, slowly airspeed wise, not vertical speed, but now we're gonna take a bit of a nosedive to pick up for it. Great job, Microsoft Flight Simulator with your aircraft. Autopilot should not be doing that, but it's okay. I might have to time lapse us forward a few minutes just to get some more light if we don't, because it's a visual approach. So, if we're getting in the valley and we can't see anything, we may have to push the daylight forward a little bit. Perks of a simulation, right, guys? What was the number? It was 257. See, can you figure it out? Does not appear to be able to figure it out. Direct radial 257. Insert. Can you figure that out or not? No. Alright, so we're just gonna fly all the way around. That's fine. I don't mind doing the circling approach. That'll buy us a few more minutes anyway. Rocky's still passed out. I'll get him up for landing. Continuing, we seem to have lost any turbulence, which is kind of funny, because the routing we got from SimBrief as our remarks said preferable flight route because of turbulence. I don't know if that was preferable, excuse me, because they wanted us to have turbulence, but it seems that every other flight level did not have turbulence, which I find personally interesting. About across Subsu. Now we're on our way to Paro 754. I wonder if it'll let me go direct now. I don't think it is. No. We're gonna need auto brakes medium. Oh, great. I turned the PFD off. So it's going to take 40 seconds to reset. I did not mean to do that. It appears that we are off course. Subsu. We should be direct git show. Hello, Aaron KP23. Welcome back. Make sure, for anybody who hasn't already, joined our Discord server. We want to make sure that you get in on that. It's in our About section. Just going to make sure we clear these mountains. Actually, the field is gonna be right here somewhere. I think I need to give us a little bit more daylight. It's like, let's go 15. Yeah, there we go. That was 15 minutes. So the airport is in this valley here. What are we, 7 minutes out? No, that's just because we're getting really close. This isn't entirely accurate. It's close. It's a rough estimate. It's not exactly perfect. And I'm going to take manual heading at this point. I'm just going to see if I can get us in a more efficient way. We need to slow down as well. I know, Aaron, that's your least favorite thing, slowing down, but gotta do it, unfortunately, my friend. I'm gonna try to shoot that gap right there. Can also get flaps 1 down at this point. The speed brakes are being armed. Oh. Descending at quite a steep rate. Let's do a little bit more normal of a rate. We can slow down a little bit. There's a gap, there's a mountain pass I'm trying to shoot through to get us on the approach here. It's going to be right there. If need be, I can perform a canyon turn, and that'll get us out if we need to do an early missed approach. I'm going to get all of our lights on now, just so I don't have to do it again later. Considering it is just me, and this is going to be an extremely challenging approach. We're going to also hold at 10,000 feet. while we get through the mountains here. Cuts 101, hello to you, sir. Get flaps 2. Actually, I'm going to go back up to 11,000 feet because we are looking a little bit low here. I'm following our terrain map, which has us going through this valley. But the problem is that I don't think we're going to be in a position to get to that valley. Gonna continue our hard canyon turn. This is why Paro is so difficult. Well, this isn't why Paro is so difficult, but the terrain and winds are usually what lead Paro to being so difficult. Gonna aim for this pass right here. I'll give you $5 if you crash into the mountain. Hispanic Titanic, I would take you up on that offer, but I unfortunately, sir, I cannot do that. I'm just going to take autopilot off because it's getting a little close. But we're going to make it through the valley. It's not an issue. Actually, we can hold at 12,000 feet. Through the valley we go. There we go.
Too low. Terrain.
Thank you. Alright, this is the valley here that we gotta follow. Our landing speed is also going to be extremely low. What is our landing speed? 121, yeah. So we can get that in as well. I'm confused where the cut through of the approach is, because I don't exactly see how we're going to land on this. Haha, take this fat L. I will not be taking any L's this evening. No L's taken by me. I think the river follows down in this area, which is how we're going to get through the valley. And if not, then we'll give it full throttle and follow the valley out this way and come back. But we should be able to get there. I think we do need to follow it that way. It would be nice if I had an approach plate. That, I think, would be the most helpful thing. They don't publish... In the United States, you can access relatively accurate plates for free via FlightAware, but I guess in other countries you can't, or they don't want you to for some reason. So I am also going to get us slowed to our landing speed of 121 knots. Gear down, flaps 3. We're going to maintain altitude though as we turn. Ooh. That's a nice wide shot. We turn through this valley. And full flaps. Landing checklist complete. I don't exactly see where we're going to get across. The VOR approach, which is honestly what we probably should have done, because that's much simpler than in Arnav. We're going to end up coming down through this valley on the other side here. If you guys can see the green, the lower terrain. I think we may need to climb one more time. Just to make sure that we get over this hill. I don't understand where they thought we were going to cut through here, because it's not going to be anywhere over here. The chart shows you going through, but I personally don't see it unless it's right here or down here. I personally, yeah, I don't think we can go through that way. It's not showing it anyway on the map. Let's limit the climb to 13,000 feet, because that'll still give us 9,000 feet of descent to do once we get on the other side of the valley. Yeah, you're not going to make it through on that side. Oh, I see where the cut through is. Whoa. Roller coaster ride. I'm just gonna hold altitude here and hope that my engines don't forget to go back up. Follow the valley back across this way. I thought that there was going to be a clean cut through to the other valley here. That's about 5 miles over from us. Which there does not appear to be an explicit one. But it looks like I should be able to get through on this little gap here. I'm very confused what that plate was supposed to get us to do. We also need to climb. I really don't get what that plate was trying to get us to do. Usually I can make sense of most of it, but not that time. Gonna get us to level off here. We will clear that by a few hundred feet. It's gonna look much lower than it actually is, but we'll clear that by a fair amount, because we're gonna have to descend quickly is why I do that.
500, 400, 300.
So you cleared it by 300 feet, nothing to worry about. There's the valley. So we need to descend, and descend quickly. Because the airport is off to our right here. Airport's right, pretty much right there. So we need to get down and follow this river valley. Because the airport is right there. Just gonna wait till we get most of the way across before we start turning back. The airport is literally right on the other side of that hill. I'm going to try to use some extra distance, bleed off some of this altitude. That's the river valley. We're going to continue this turn now back towards like the 150 direction. 160. At this point, I'm going to take auto flight. We are actually on final approach. I know it's looked like we've been low for a while, but we are actually on final approach. Rocky just woke up, which is a good sign. I'll get yelled at a little bit by him. It's a little bit choppy, as you would imagine in a mountain valley, which is part of what makes this approach so difficult. How long is the runway? It's not actually that long. It's about 8,000 feet long. And it's right on the other side of this hill. Yeah, there's like a little temple thing right here, and then the runway is right here. So they aim for the temple. They actually put lights on the temple. It's pretty much the only thing in this whole city that has power, according to most accounts. I personally have never been, nor would I ever want to go. So, well, I'd fly in there. I wouldn't want to be there for any other reason. We are a little bit high. I'll set go around altitude is like 15,000 feet because of the obscenity of these mountains. We need to lose some speed as well, so I'm going to perform a crab maneuver here to drop us a few hundred feet, as the runway is going to be literally right here. Yep, there it is. We are high.
1,000.
Actually, now we're not looking so bad. We're still a little high, but we're doing okay.
Sink rate. 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 Sink rate.
20. 10. 5.
Oh, we're floating.
5.
And we bounced like 3 times. I'm gonna see if we can stop. The nose just wants to go up and up and up, and I don't know where that comes from. 70 knots, disengage the reversers. We were like bouncing. Manual braking. And that's Paro, everyone. Thank you to Nell Twitch. Clapping emojis are coming in. Rocky didn't bark. It wasn't anything great. I mean, it's a challenging approach series, right? It's not supposed to be easy. That was not easy. You know, and being as light as we were, it makes sense that the airplane wanted to come off the ground. I'm just going to perform a tight turn. Get ourselves turned off to the terminal area. We are in the capital of Bhutan, Paro, Bhutan. Get flaps up. The runway is the only part of this facility that's actually paved. Everything else is dirt. So you have to have, it's one of the rare things. You'll see, it was a very scenic approach. You'll see, I guess it's showing it as paved. In the real world, you'll see a rare version of the A320 that actually has 2 wheels per main landing gear complex, and I believe Air India flies that, but it's kind of like they have a 767 landing gear on an A320, so that's kind of cool. Then they use that for the dirt to distribute the weight more efficiently. But that was Paro. Tomorrow we'll try, or not tomorrow, sorry, Thursday we'll try Lukla again. I'm gonna do a lot of practicing tomorrow. That's why I'm taking tomorrow off. But we'll be doing a lot of practicing for that tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to doing that again for you guys. That was something. I'm happy all 10 of our passengers survived and are here to talk about it. Happy for you guys to join us. That is a building. The main terminal is all the way down the other end of the runway. For obvious reasons, you have to get a special rating to fly in here. This and a bunch of other airports that are on this list, you have to have a special rating to fly in or out of. Madeira is on that list. St. Bart's is on that list. Rocky went back to sleep. That's not on the list, but Rocky did go back to sleep. That's going to be our first custom emoji. It's going to be Rocky's face. You guys will get to see what the dog looks like. We made it, though. We made it in 3 bounces, but in 1 piece. The actual landing was not very rough, smoothness-wise. It was actually a fairly smooth landing. That's your temple up there to the right. That was our beacon. What the approach is they come down this valley here to the left, not the one on the right. They come down the valley on the left, and they fly basically abeam the tower, or the thing, and then they come and make this tight turn around the hill and land. So that's what the approach is. You got a Citation jet sitting here waiting. I'm gonna pull in next to him. We've got some sort of shrine for somebody. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that's like the Emperor of Bhutan or something. It's actually a kingdom. So, the Kingdom of Bhutan. This is exactly what I would imagine Bhutan to look like. And that is that parking brake, engines, seatbelt sign. And the thing didn't come up. It didn't come up. I don't know how I did this, but the thing did not come up. That in itself should be a big accomplishment. External power is going on, APU is going off, as are the strobe lights. Ladies and gents, welcome to Paro. Local time is 7:28 a.m. Sorry, 7:18 a.m. Get the main door open, and we tackled Paro. It wasn't pretty, but we made it. We made it in 1 piece. Made it on 1 runway. And that is that. On Thursday, be sure to come back. We will be tackling Lukla 1 more time. I think I'm just going to do the challenging approaches that are listed as challenging approaches, so we can do all of those. Start off with Lukla, though. So make sure you guys are there for that. I think that'll conclude our challenging approach tour, at least for now. And then this weekend, we will be landing on the shortest commercial runway in the United States at John Wayne. So make sure you're there for that also. Psycho Pomp 73, thanks for the stream. Hey man, thanks for coming. Make sure you drop us a like if you're not already. Sorry, drop us a follow. If you haven't already, the follows mean the world to us. A cute little emoji comes up as well. First 20 people to follow the channel will be excuse me, will be automatically enrolled in a free 1-year subscription to our base level membership. So make sure you get in on that. Everybody's got to jump off the plane, by the way. That's the other thing. We don't have slides or anything like that, so you guys got to jump. Yep, we'll see ya. Yeah, so between now and Thursday, the grand finale of our challenging approach tour. This is Delta 1661.